This video tutorial is going to show you how to make a Halloween exploding box from a Cricut file. I am Lucine. Welcome to my channel. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we're going to make. This is the exploding box. It has a top and an inside panel on the top, and then of course you've got your outside. Inside are three distinct layers. Your first layer is witch's legs. There are 4 witch's legs on each side. You can put those standing up or upside down. Inside is a witch's hat. You take the hat off. There is a little compartment inside for a treat. It fits a nice big fat nugget. The next layer are 4 interactive panels. You've got your vampire potion. You've got a tombstone with a ghost, and then you've got a spooky window. The next layer is 4 pocket pouches and with tags inside. Right now the tags have silhouettes on them. You can change those to photos if you want. And the back of the tags is available, so you can add photos to the back, or you can put writing on the back, whatever you want. All right, then we have our supply list. Go ahead and pause this if you think you're going to need to write it down. It's pretty basic supplies: cardstock, glue, your Cricut.
When you open the program, it's going to be huge at full size. So what you want to do is go over to the little gray thing in the corner here and reduce the screen all the way down to 50% or 25%. That way you can see everything that is part of the project. Now, some of the stuff overlaps. It doesn't matter. It's not attached to anything, so it's not going to hurt anything that it's overlapped. This is your lid right here. It is white. You need to do that in some kind of printed cardstock. If you're not going to use the inside panel, you want to do it in double-sided cardstock. If you're going to use the inside panel, it's going to cover all the other pieces of the other part of the cardstock, the inside part, so it doesn't need to be double sided. But this piece, this is your outside of your box, and your first fold out needs to be double-sided cardstock. And this right here, which is your second layer, needs to be double-sided cardstock. So if it's white, it's double-sided cardstock. Now, the 2 things that actually need to be white, and that's the ghost here and the little pieces on the potion here, need to be real white. And they're kind of a bluish gray. So when the bluish gray comes up, put white paper there. If you want to change all your other colors, you can. I stuck with traditional Halloween colors.
I'm going to interrupt myself here. I forgot to mention, please don't unattach anything. There are a lot of score lines in this project. If you do want to change the color of something, just select it in the layer panel to change the color, or use a sync panel to change the color.
Now on the legs, you'll see that there are a colored leg and a black leg, and that is because they go back to back. So you want to do 2 of the black and just 1 of the color, because you're going to glue it all together. This is the inside of the hat piece. So you've got the yellow layer, the outside layer. This is the little bottom piece that goes inside your thing, and then the wraparound, and then the little buckle. I do the buckle in, it looks orange, but I do the buckle and the top of the coffin in gold glitter paper. But whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Okay. So it is all sized. Do not resize anything. This is sized to fit exactly 11.5 inches. It fits on your 12 by 12 Cricut mat, so don't resize it. Now you'll need 1, 2, 3 full 12 by 12 pieces of the double-sided cardstock. Everything else I just use 8.5 by 11. So when I go to make it, the first thing you get is your prepare page. See up here where it says prepare, it says there's 16 mats.
Alright, I am going to change some of my mats to 8.5 by 11, because except for my 3 large pieces that are 12 by 12 double-sided cardstock, I'm going to use Recollections from Michael's 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock, because it's very tightly, the fibers are really tight, so it cuts intricate really well. So I'm going to take this black, the very first black panel, switch it to 8.5 by 11, and it's going to change all my black panels to 8.5 by 11. Now I'm going to have to go through and change a few more. So I'm going to change my orange, because that's spread out past the 11 inch mark. So I'm going to change that to 8.5 by 11. Now a couple of them like this gray one, I'm not going to bother to change. I'm just going to put a little scrap on that anyway, so it doesn't really matter what size it says, since it's just a tiny little piece. And I'm going to have to change the yellow because that's bigger, so 8.5 by 11. And again, you can only change these sizes on the prepare mat. Once you hit continue, you're on the make it mat. So if you need to go back to the prepare mat to change something, move something, rearrange it, just hit cancel once and it takes you back to this. All right, so I'm gonna change the purple, and that will be the last mat that I need to change. Now, if you're using 12 by 12 cardstock on all of these, you're not gonna have to change any of them. It's entirely up to you what you do here. I'm just gonna, but you can see you can move things around, you can hide things. None of that we need to do unless you need to recut something. All right, then I'm ready to go. I'm gonna hit the continue button, and we're ready to cut.
And it comes over to the cutting mat. See, that's where it says prepare is gone. Now it says make, and you pick your card. I'm going to do cardstock for intricate cuts for most of it, but my big pieces don't need that, so I'm just going to use medium cardstock for those. And I always do more. You don't always have to. Okay, and then you just go ahead and cut your pieces. Again, when you get to your gold glitter, if you're going to use the gold glitter, switch this here to the glitter cardstock. And when you get down to your pieces that have more intricate cuts, then switch it to intricate cardstock. So if you go to cardstock, I think intricate cuts is the very first one where you go browse all materials. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut all our pieces out, and then we're ready to start cutting. You're going to line your cardstock up on to the edges. It doesn't matter if you do it on this side or if you do it on the other side. Both sides work. One is inches, one is centimeters, it doesn't matter. But what you're going to do is once you line it up is you're going to burnish it. You're going to burnish it really, really tight to the mat, as tight as you can, all up and down, really pressing that down, making sure it's smooth, making sure your edges are tight, because you won't get a good cut if you don't.
As I mentioned before, there's a lot of score, so you're going to have to take out your, if you have a maker, you're going to have to take out your blade and put in your score tool. The little flat area goes in the back, just pop it in and close it. If you don't have a maker or you don't have a score tool, a score blade, use your score tool and put that on the other side, just pop it right in, and either way you will have your score ready to go.
When you are doing intricate cardstock cut, the easiest way to get this off the mat is to roll your mat back gently. Now don't bend it in half, just roll it gently, and it'll start popping up all by itself. And you can take the outside edge right off. If it doesn't come quite off, try rolling it the other direction too. You can roll it either way. And then your other pieces, again, roll it, and they'll pop off, and they'll be nice and flat. They won't get that curl that you get when you just try to lift it straight off. If you have some trouble getting it off, then you've got this tool, this mat lifter tool, that can just slide right up under there, and it'll help take it off. And again, you have a nice flat piece. Just take it right. But curling that mat will make the pieces almost pop up if you have to curl them this way. I can even use my fingernail and get that piece right off. And a lot of times all the inside stuff will stay behind on the mat, and you won't even have to do any weeding. Now when you're ready to get this off, you just use your little mat scraper and it'll come right off your mat. Super easy.
I guess I should mention here that this project is very time intensive. Not hard, it just takes a lot of time. The first time I made it, it took me over an hour just to cut, probably because of all the scoring, and the intricate setting does cut twice. But I found that after I made the first one, the second one I started putting things together as it was cutting, and that saved a lot of time.
Okay, let's put everything together. This is all the stuff you've got. This is part of it here. Then you've got all of this stuff cut here. And then the box itself, you've got the inside piece, the next piece, the next piece, and the lid. We're going to start with the lid, okay? It's actually pretty easy, but I really like it because it looks smooth. There's no open edge there, so that's pretty cool. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is fold all the inside pieces in. The 4 pieces go in, and the next pieces go in, and the very last piece on each side goes out. Okay, that's pretty simple. And those are, now you've got these go in. Now, when you're going to put it together, these go up inside the side pieces. So the first thing we're going to do is put glue on the piece that doesn't have the little ends. I use our glitter glue because it not only dries clear, it dries matte, so you don't have those little shiny areas if you get it all over everything. The only drawback to this is it dries really quick, so we'll deal with that if it happens. Now, I'm going to put that down. We're going to push this inside. And bring it flat down. So I'm trying to do this so it shows on the screen, and it's not that easy to do. And then press that down to the bottom piece. And do the same thing to the other side. Put a little glue on the tab. We're going to fold these pieces inside. We're going to bring that up. Make sure those are inside. We're going to fold down and press down. Then the last 2 things just have to go straight in. Fold it down and fold it in. Fold it down and fold it in. And it's a perfect little lid. And we'll cover that up later with the Frankenstein. Okay. Okay, let's get that lid out of the way. Now we're going to start with the, let's see, the hardest thing to make, I would say, would be the hat. So let's start with the inside panel. So I'm going to fold these pieces all in. I prefer this yellow. It seems, I've tried it in a few other colors and it makes the shoes pop out better if it's a solid color, but that's entirely up to you. Okay, your hat has an inside, an outside, and then the brim and the inside that makes the little pocket, the edging and the buckle. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold the score marks in on the 2 cone pieces and the inside of that. Now we're going to start with the yellow. I'm going to put a little bit of glue. This is the art glitter glue is another reason I like it. In a case like this, it's really great that it dries fast. You don't have to hold it very long, but it's also super, super strong paper glue. So I'm going to put that right there together. If you have some trouble getting it to fasten, you can stick a pencil up in there and push down on that. Like I said, it dries really, really fast. Now get that into a cone shape. And we're going to just set that down. And we're going to do the same thing to the black. Fold it in. Like so. Yeah, okay. Tight. Curl that flat. And a nice cone. And then just pop that right on top of the yellow. You're going to have the yellow's going to stick out from the bottom. It doesn't matter because the purple edging there is going to cover that right up. So we'll go ahead and put that on next. So I'm going to put some glue on the purple edging. I'm going to start in the back. Actually, it doesn't matter where you start it, because if you start in the front, you can just cover it with the buckle. And I'm going to cover it right around and press it flat. And then get that, and then the buckle. Now, the bottom part, we're going to glue that into a cone as well. Okay. Nice cone shaped. Now I'm going to put glue on the bottom. So. Center it right there. And press down. And you can see you've got a little container there, and when you put your hat on it, you've got a perfect little Halloween hat. And that's going to glue right in there, but we're going to glue it after we put the legs on it. And actually, since the legs are the next most difficult part, we'll go ahead and do the legs next. You've got a front and a back, and then the stockings. So I am going to put my glue on with a paintbrush, because it's going to be all those little pieces there. So I'm going to put a little glue out here, and I'm going to take my paintbrush, and I'm just going to do the edges like so. And yes, it's getting all over, and that's okay. That's why I'm working on my mat here, because once I get my glue on there, just wipe it off the mat. Put my stocking down on top. Flip it over. And blot off any extra glue. Now, if you're using an average normal paper glue, I'm not sure how well that will work, because it does not dry matte. It dries shiny, and it might look weird, but if you do it this way, you're going to have to be a little more careful. Now, put your glue on this one. Don't put it on this, because you don't want it in all those little holes there. So if you don't have good matte glue, good matte paper glue, then be a little more careful. This one, you're going to put it on all the black. And I've run out, so I'll just finish it with this. And I'm going to start right in the middle. Glue up, get that glue off, and it's already dried on the other side. You can see no shiny nice and matte. It's great, great glue. Now these are going to be glued on this. Now you can glue them upside down if you want. It doesn't matter. I could just kind of like the shoe against the yellow. It looks prettier that way. And it fits right smack on it perfectly up against there. It's a perfect fit for the shoe. All right, and you're going to do all 4 of them, all 4 of your shoes exactly the same way. When you get that done, you're going to glue the bottom of your hat right smack in the middle, and your centerpiece will be done. Okay, let's get that out of the way. All right, let's see what else might be a little different. And that actually there isn't anything else that's really super difficult. Let me just go through one of each piece for you real quick. I've got the tags. The tags are there. You just got to glue the silhouette.
And of course, if you don't want to use a silhouette, you can put a photo there. And you have the back side of your tag too, so you could put a photo there, or you could put some writing, whatever you want.
Onto the tag, and then put some string or ribbon in the hole like this. It's just tied in. And those will go in the pockets. Let's make a pocket. All right, the pockets go on the big piece. Which is the outside piece. I think I'll make this the inside and the spider web the outside. So you fold those in. That's your box. You can see that's your outside, and your lid's going to fit on it. Right, like so. And your pockets are going to go right on that. The pockets have 3 scored lines. Fold your scored lines in. Put a dab of glue on the corner. And fold it in. That is going to make your pocket. This is a bone folder, which will make your lines much nicer. If you don't have a bone folder, your mat scraper works pretty good too. All right, now your pocket is done. Take your bottom, going to put glue on the edges of the pocket strips you've just made, and we're going to put that down almost to the bottom of the page. There's just a very little bit in there, not much. This will make the tag fit in. All right. All right, once you get this glued in, you have 4 different faces. Faces glue.
And one more thing, make sure all your pockets are facing toward the top. You want your tags to be at the top of your box.
I'll finish off 4 of those, and that's done. All right, now we're going to do the inside, the middle layer. That's got 4 interactive things on it. We'll start with the potion. Okay, you've got your bottle. So fold that nice and even. Then you've got the decorative piece on top. And potion. And up inside, poison. Right. Start with the little, put your skull and crossbones down in the bottom section here. touch there for the mouth. And the skull. And all your interactive pieces will glue. Now when you're doing this in, and I probably should have mentioned that on this too, make sure your orientation is always that the top of the pocket is facing up on all your pieces. And on this one as well, make sure that your orientation is always up and down. Don't put this one up and then do this like that. They've all got to be facing, your orientation all has to be up. So I'm going to put some glue on the back. And these I'm going to put a little higher up to the top. You get a little more room at the bottom for this, for the center layer. Now we're going to do, okay, now the next piece is the Dracula. It's pretty easy. You've got 5 pieces, 6 pieces. So we're going to fold our casket on the score line. Dracula goes in the lining of the casket first. Center that. Dracula. Center him. Red shirt. Make his face any color you want. I thought about making it a green, but I didn't go with green. All right, and then the last, the top of the casket. This is the gold. You can do it in silver, purple, green, print. You can do it anything you want to do it in. All right. And again, you make sure your orientation is where the top is at the top. Glue the back of the casket on. And there's done. Okay. All right. The next one is the window. This one's pretty easy. Fold in your score lines to bring your window in. Then glue the yellow lighted window part, glue the yellow lighted window part to the back. That is going to be glued. Remember your orientation. Glue it facing up, where it's facing up, and on the top there. And one more. The last one is tombstone. Now I'm going to do my edges of my tombstone in black, and I'm going to smear a little bit of black on it. And I'm going to put a little bit of blue on my ghost. If you do not have the ink to do this, then don't worry about it. I'm gonna do it. It will look fine without the extra color, and I actually would have done a better job of that if I had a little more time. All right, fold your tombstone, put your rip on top, and your ghost inside. Don't forget your orientation. You want it facing up. And facing up and a little bit to the top. And there's your centerpiece. All right. Last piece, last two pieces actually, are your lid pieces. The outside of the lid, Happy Halloween. Again, I would probably use my paintbrush, but it doesn't matter. Get down some. And the green, or whatever color you decide to do it in. And again, I would find this a lot easier if I was using my paintbrush. All right. Center it. And that goes on your lid. Probably, if I'd remembered I did my lid in a purple, I think I would have changed that purple to an orange. And then the inside piece is this. Put your glue. I'm going to put him up at the top a little bit. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to put the trick or treat. Right on top. You can arrange this any way you want. There are no rules. I'm going to put some glue on the inside. And put the panel right on top. once you've got all your pieces put together, you're going to glue the second piece. Right smack in the middle of the first piece. And you're going to glue the last piece right smack in the middle of that. And you're going to glue, and remember I would have had all of these on there first. And then you're going to glue this right smack in the middle of that. And then it's done. Okay. As I get all the rest of my pieces glued in. Hope you enjoyed it. Make a lot. I'd love to see them.
I will put the link to the actual Cricut file in the comments. So all you'll have to do is click on it. Or you can get it from my Facebook, Cricut Lovers Friendship Group. So it'll be there. It's also on the Blogspot. So lots of places where you can find it.